So, business time. First impressions.
The businessmen were scary. When they came out of that ice cube, I was scared.
You were afraid?
Yeah.
Why?
They had like these weird things on their faces.
So you don't like ugly characters in the show, is what I'm hearing you say.
No.
Did you think they were going to be evil too? Immediately?
No, I didn't actually.
Okay, you just think they're scary.
But they were like zombies. But they were a little bit too realistic. They're like dead inside and outside. And they like kind of hissed and like he jumped at Finn, and that was scary. Yeah. Yeah.
They definitely were scary. My first impression of this one was that, as I was watching, I was like, man, I remember why. I think this is a very early one that I saw. But I'm glad that it wasn't the first one I saw.
Why?
Because maybe it's that it's 15 years later. There was just the 15th year anniversary of the first episode last week. But, maybe it didn't age well, but definitely was...
There's a lot of fat jokes in this one. And
there was.
That is not okay.
It's definitely less accepted as it was back then.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think it aged well. I don't think it was that funny. Definitely was weird. I do kind of remember being young and watching this and really being excited about how weird it was. Like, there were some weird cartoons, but this episode was very weird.
Yeah, it was weird. Well, I thought it was weird, but one of the things I wrote down is that this is the first time they're bringing in something from the real world.
That's all. I remember being kind of intrigued by that.
Into the land of Ooo. Like, there's no, like, work or, like, there's nothing, like, mundane in the land of Ooo, like, that we have, like, businessmen. Like, they don't have businessmen. And so it was the first time it was kind of melding our kind of, like, real life with this fantastical world. And I thought that was interesting.
Well, even the very first thing, they're melting. So we join these guys as they're melting icebergs with flamethrowers.
Yeah.
And the first one he finds is there's like a bicycle and there's like things from our world inside of it.
Oh, maybe that's why like the ocean brings up our world.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think so.
Okay.
Well, I think it's implying, like, what do you think that's implying?
I have no idea.
Like that something happened and our world was like frozen. Like maybe this is in the far future or something like that, you know?
Okay.
Like there's some tie that Ooo is related to our world in some way.
Yeah.
Like those businessmen.
Yeah. So I was kind of excited for this episode. It just didn't really work for some reason. I kind of felt a little bored.
Yeah, I did too.
Like the Ricardio episode, I didn't like Ricardio, but I wasn't bored. I was very engaged.
It's a weird one.
Whereas this one, I was a little bored. And maybe that's because Finn and Jake became boring.
They were boring.
Yeah. So the episode is the businessmen, Finn and Jake are now the boss of these business guys. All they want to do is work, so they find them things to do. And they're so good and efficient at their jobs that they just start doing everything for Finn and Jake. So Finn and Jake start just playing video games. And we see a glimpse of BMO, which I'm really excited about. Still haven't met BMO yet, but we saw a glimpse of it, her,
them.
And they become, as the show says, they become fat and lazy, which is not a very good thing to say. I don't think. I don't think it's
No
good.
comment. Well, it's not good for them.
No, it's not good for them. And then they don't go on adventures anymore. They send the businessmen out, which becomes their downfall because then the businessmen start taking over everything and doing bad things. That's the gist of it. And I think the lesson is maybe how we've made everything efficient and, automated everything is not through business and through business and capitalism isn't so good for us.
Yeah. And also, I think this is the most clear message episode
Yeah.
in a long time as well. And it's
Yeah.
kind of like, it's a weird, like,
And maybe that's
I
why
don't know,
it
it's
was like predictable, like that's how they can end it, right?
yeah, it's kind of predictable. I think the lesson as a writer is like, don't let your characters be bored because it'll be boring. Like maybe no one should be bored.
They tried to make it funny, like they were bored, and I think they could have made it humorous, but I think the only joke was that they just became fat, which is not really a joke.
And lazy.
And lazy.
Well, there was a funny joke in there where he's like, I never knew being fat and lazy could be so rewarding.
Yeah.
Which I think was a little funny.
Yeah, so it's just not funny.
Yeah, I agree. There's nothing unexpected with the jokes. Even like them turning evil at the end was for sure gonna happen.
Yeah.
Even the whole like efficiency turning against you. I don't know. Nothing too surprising. I like the little puffball guys that they captured
Yeah,
at the
they were
end.
cute.
Kind of fun.
Yeah.
I think it's funny them not wanting to save LSP from a monster yet again. Seems like she gets into a lot of trouble.
Poor LSP.
Poor LSP. LSP, I don't know. Something about her. But yeah, I think this is another episode that if I was to rank the episode so far, this one might be, well, for sure, this one's the lowest one for me.
Hey, I just noticed that in this poster, they're in ice cubes and icebergs as well.
These guys are.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think this is
Oh, Ice King. I see.
sort of Ice King magic.
I think one of the things I was most curious about is where they were. They were like on a seashore, on a beach, and I don't think we've seen that landscape in the Land of Ooo yet. So I was very curious about where they were.
Yeah, we've seen their grassy land, and we've seen Iceland, and we've seen
And we've seen Space and Candyland.
Space and Candyland.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah. So is there a map of the Land of Ooo?
Well, at the start, the whole like intro is kind of like a flyby of all the places.
Yeah, but is there like a drawn out, has someone drawn the map out and labeled it? Like a classic map, book map?
Probably someone. I don't know. Honestly, I'm not exactly sure.
Oh.
I'd have to look into that. Okay, so final games. Any game ideas of this one? If you had businessmen, what would you do with them? What would you make them do?
I think I would go the Jake and Finn route. Make them do my dishes and do my laundry. But it would be annoying if they're constantly looking for work. I don't like that. So I'm not sure. I think eventually I would get rid of them.
Would you just get them to put themselves back in the ice cube and leave?
Yeah, or like make them go to sleep or something. Yeah.
I would set them out to like solve some big problems. Like go clean our dumpster. Like even better yet, like go solve world hunger or something. Like put their minds to some greater good.
Yeah, but they're businessmen though, so I don't think. I think that's one of the big problems. Is a lot of our charities are run like businesses.
Oh, you know what? Actually, what I would do in that regard, then I'd get them to go and make a whole bunch of money, and then give it to me,
Yeah, that's a good idea.
and invest in me, and that's it. And maybe I don't know. I guess they can pick their business,
Yeah.
so that might backfire. But you know, can you do an impression of the businessman?
No.
I think it kind of sounded a little bit like this. Wait, what kind of things do they say? We like business. No. Okay.
We want work for you.
We want work for you.
You just sound like Kermit the Frog.
Okay, I can't do an impression of these guys. Okay, well, if that's it for these two episodes, I'm happy to wrap it up and look forward to the next one, which is a lot more fun.
Okay.
So, thanks for being here.